2. This is pertaining to body parts discovered in Babylon, New York, in a park. Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $Big Angie 129 Cash App. Thank you for joining me. ABC News is the source. A young girl stumbled across a gruesome crime scene in Long Island on Thursday with the discovery of a severed limb, and the resulting investigation has turned up even more body parts. A left arm was the first to be found on the eastern end of Southwards Pond Park in Babylon, New York, by a student walking to school at around 8:40 a.m. Thursday. When she discovered the limb, the student called her father, who responded to the scene and called 911. Police said. Suffolk officials announced they have now completed their search of the area after the discovery of severed body parts belonging to a man and a woman. The Suffolk County Homicide Squad are attempting to identify the two deceased individuals. The county medical examiner announced Friday that a severed head, right arm, left leg from the knee down, and a right upper leg found by a Suffolk County Police canine section dog at the western side of the Southwards Pond Park on February 29th are believed to be from an adult woman. One of the legs was discovered in a mound of leaves on the western side of the park. The remains found on the eastern edge of the park appeared to be from a male. A right arm was found on the eastern side of the park about 20 feet away from where the girl had stumbled across the left arm, according to police. Both arms, which had tattoos on them, belonged to the man, or a man, police said. There were no tattoos on the female's arms, police said. An investigation into the deaths is ongoing, and anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-220-TIPS. So let's go back over that information. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Severed body parts found in this Southwards Pond Park in Babylon, New York. Discovered by a girl child, walking to school before 9 a.m., and she contacted her father. He called the police. Suffolk officials announced they have now completed the search of the area after the discovery. Excuse me, let me do something right quick. Hold on one second, everybody. Sorry about that. Sorry. Okay. The body parts are said to belong to a man and a woman. Okay? A severed head, right arm, is 2, left leg from the knee down, and a right upper leg. So a head, a right arm, that's 2, left leg, knee down, and right upper leg found by the Suffolk County Police Canine Section dog on the western side of the pond, February 29th. And it says those are believed to be of the adult woman. One of the legs discovered in a mound of leaves on the western side of the park. Remains found on the eastern edge of the park appear to be from a male. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. Now I've got my regular crowd in. Great. So what's going on here? One news broadcast, News Nation, I believe, got content pertaining to possibly this is an MS-13 gang-related situation. Is that true? Is this gang-related? So I don't know, but I'm going to bring you some more information from this area that perhaps it could be. Don't know for sure. Don't want to, jump the gun. But is this gang related? So we're going to go back into the belly of the beast and talk about crimes that have taken place in Babylon, New York that were gang related. So justice.gov is the source if you are curious. Thank you all so much for joining me. God bless all of you. Have a wonderful week, everybody, and happy March. All right. This is from a while ago. This is from the United States Attorney's Office, Eastern District of New York. If you need information to the source, this was uploaded a year and a half ago, Thursday, September 15, 2022. Okay, so Earlier today in federal court, Central Isla, Ronaldo Lopez Alvarado, known as Mente, a member of the Brentwood Loco Salvatrucas clique of La Mara Salvatruca, also known as the MS-13, a transnational criminal organization, pleaded guilty to racketeering charges in connection with his participation in the November 19th, 2015 murder of Cesar Rivera Vasquez, an attempted murder that occurred on April 9th, 2013 in Bayshore, a conspiracy to commit obstruction of justice. The proceeding was held before United States Magistrate Judge Stephen I. Locke. When sentenced, Lopez Alvarado faces up to life in prison. Breon Pace, United States Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, Michael J. Driscoll, Assistant Director in Charge, Federal Bureau of Investigation, New York Field Office, and Rodney K. Harrison, Commissioner, Suffolk County Police Department, announced the guilty plea. In a twisted desire to enhance his status with the MS-13 gang and without any regard for human life, the defendant admittedly participated in extremely violent crimes, including murder and shooting, stated United States Attorney Peace. Lopez Alvarado faces very serious consequences for his senseless actions, which I hope will be of some relief to the community, including the family and friends of his victims. This office, together with the Long Island Gang Task Force, is working tirelessly to bring MS-13 gang members to justice for the havoc they have brought on Long Island. So just going back in time, bringing you a case of attempted murder, and he will be believed, Lopez Alvarado, to receive life for the said crime. It states that, let's see, it's got a lot here. It says, according to court filings and statements by the defendant at the guilty plea proceeding, Lopez Alvarado participated in the April 9, 2013 attempted murder of a man on Benton Place in Bayshore. Lopez Alvarado, who was a new member of the MS-13 at the time, and another MS-13 member, went out looking to kill a rival gang member in order for Lopez Alvarado to gain full status in the gang. When they observed a group of men who they assumed were members of the rival Blood Street gang, Lopez Alvarado and his co-conspirator retrieved a .25 caliber handgun and 20 gauge shotgun, drove back to Benton Place, approached the group of men, and opened fire. One victim was struck and was subsequently transported to a local hospital where he was treated and survived the shooting. Approximately 1 month after that, Lopez Alvarado conspired to obstruct justice by assisting fellow gang members after they had committed 2 murders. Specifically on May 28, 2013, Lopez Alvarado came to the aid of young gang members who had just shot and killed Kenneth Russell at a house party in Central Isla. When the minivan they had stolen and subsequently used in not only the Russell murder, but also May 26, 2013 murder of Derek Mays, ran out of gas and broke down. In addition to helping his fellow gang members get gas and hide the firearms used in the Russell murder, Lopez Alvarado and other MS-13 members who had learned that the minivan had been linked to the murders agreed to destroy it. Lopez Alvarado and his fellow MS-13 gang members then cleaned the minivan to remove any fingerprints, drove it to a wooded area in Ronkonkoma, doused it with gas, and set it on fire. In addition, Lopez Alvarado admitted during his guilty plea to participating in the murder of Rivera Vasquez on November 19, 2015 in Babylon. Rivera Vasquez was murdered by Lopez Alvarado and other MS-13 members because the gang suspected him of belonging to a rival Mexican gang, Raza Loca. On the night of the murder, Lopez Alvarado and his co-conspirators saw Rivera Vasquez at a deli located near the Babylon Long Island Railroad train station. Lopez Alvarado and the other MS-13 members convinced the victim to leave with them to smoke marijuana and brought him to an isolated area behind a nearby baseball field. The gang members, who were armed with knives and a baseball bat, told the victim to take off his shirt so they could observe a tattoo they believed signified the victim's membership in the rival gang. And observing the tattoo, Lopez Alvarado and the other MS-13 members attacked Rivera Vasquez, beating him with the bat and stabbing him repeatedly with knives before one of the co-conspirators cut the victim's throat. The MS-13 members buried Rivera Vasquez's body near a large mound of dirt. The body was discovered in April of 2018. So the crime took place in November 2015 and then wasn't found until the spring of 2018. I'm bringing you this to show you that this area has crime. That is something I've just read, that is the reason why officials believe this is possibly gang-related, MS-13 members or member, because of crimes that have transpired in this Babylon, New York area. So is this gang-related? Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. So there you have it. Yeah, whatever. So is this gang related? He was 30 at the time, Ronaldo Lopez Alvarado, age 30, Brentwood, New York. This is deep. To have all these body parts popping up. So now what you got to ask yourself is the obvious. How is it somebody or somebody's, plural, took this body, two bodies rather, and dumped the bodies without being seen? What time of day did they take the bodies? In a bag, trash bag? What? How did they carry the body parts? Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining me. Very wicked story. Very wicked story. The interesting part about reading that information is that he can't be safe in jail, prison, or wherever he is, that guy, because he's admitted to killing this one man and others. How safe could he be in prison? Not that people care, but you understand what I'm saying. This is bad. This is really, really bad. So how many crimes have they had altogether in this Babylon, New York? Because when you look at the area where they're showing you pictures on the news, it doesn't look like a bad area. So is this just what? They're just finding a place to dump the remains, not caring about CCTV footage? Because also there's a school across the street, if I'm not mistaken. So did it not occur to them that the school has cameras? What about this area that's roped off in this article by ABC News? There's a big high fence. I mean, who knows? A person could have cameras on their fence. I don't know. This is strange to me. Very strange. Hello, everybody in the chat. Selena. Hey, Yellow Man. I haven't seen you in a long time. How are you doing? Yeah, this is quite wicked. Quite wicked. Two people, a guy and a female. No tattoos on the woman, but tattoos on the man. So, who are these people? Where are they from? Do they live in Babylon, outside of Babylon? Do they live on Long Island? Do they live somewhere else? What are we talking about here? One, who's the culprit? Number two, who are the two victims? Because this is bad. This is really, really bad. This is really, really bad. One, is it gang related? The people who committed the crime, more than one, MS-13, Blood, some other gang. The people who were murdered, what happened to them? Where were they to get murdered? One thing I found weird about this story that I was reading about this one guy here, they went up to this guy, approached him and asked him to come with them to smoke weed so they could, get him alone to see what type of tattoos he had. And I'm thinking, like, why would you go with some strangers to smoke marijuana? That's crazy to me. You're just going to randomly have somebody walk up to you and say, hey, we got some marijuana. You want to come with us? And then you just follow them somewhere and smoke. This is crazy to me. Very strange. Very, very strange. 2 people. A head, arms, and a leg. No tattoos on the woman's remains, but tattoos on the male. So the tattoos on the male, are they gang-related tattoos? Hey, Sam, thank you. The tattoos found on the victim, on the body parts of the man, are they gang-related tattoos? What do they say exactly, those tattoos? I'm curious. Severed head, right arm, left leg from the knee down, and a right upper leg. Imagine a girl child who stumbled across, I believe it was the arm. You know, you're probably looking at it thinking, is this real? So then we have to ask, how far into the park are we talking? Right off the curb, or was it visible? You know what I'm saying? Walking on the sidewalk. In this picture where they got a roped off, it's got a tree, a sidewalk, and a high fence that looks like it belongs to somebody's house, and then the street, of course. So what I'm wondering is if I drove by, would I've seen the arm? Number one. If I'm walking on the sidewalk, would I've seen the arm, leg? That's what I'm curious about. Or did you have to go into the park itself and then see the arm or leg? It's very creepy. And they threw them in different places because it says one of the legs was discovered in a mound of leaves on the western side of the park. The remains found on the eastern edge of the park appear to be from a male. So we've got one leg on the western side of the park, and then the eastern edge of the park, there were remains. It says a right arm was found on the eastern side, about 20 feet away from where the girl had stumbled across the left arm. Okay, so a right arm on the eastern side was 20 feet from where the girl found the left arm. So the arms were thrown feet away. Both arms, which had tattoos on them, belonged to the man. So you just went in, threw an arm over here, go a couple of feet, throw another arm. What the hell is going on? So let's ask all the questions. Who's the culprit? How many culprits? How did they transport the arms and legs? Were they on foot? Got out of a car, somebody waited, drove around, came back, picked them up. Plastic bag, duffel bag, tarp, what? What time of day was it? Nighttime, wee hours, early morning? Does this area where the park is, does it have a lot of crime itself? Are there nice homes, mid-grade homes, upper crust homes? What are we saying? Of course, you know, we know it's hard to live in New York anyway, but I'm just curious. What type of neighborhood is it where the park is located? Because I can't really see a lot from the photographs that are shown pertaining to the storyline. So I'm just wondering what type of areas is middle class, upper middle class. And then we have to ask the ultimate question. Why there? Why did you choose that park? Because it looks like you were busy walking around from one side to the other, dumping body parts. This is crazy to me. Absolutely crazy. Babylon, New York. Let's see what Babylon, New York has going on. I always like to do a little research on places just to get a gist of what goes on in the city. Population, demographics. Okay. The town of Babylon is one of 10 towns in Suffolk County. Now, we've heard of Suffolk County dealing with this nonsense pertaining to Gilgo Beach and Rex Heuermann. So Suffolk County will probably ring a bell in many people's heads now. So it's one of 10 towns in Suffolk County, New York. Its population was 218,223 as of the 2020 census. Parts of Jones Beach Island, Captree Island, Fire Island are in the southernmost part of the town. It borders Nassau County to the west and the Atlantic Ocean to the south. Okay. What towns are in Babylon? Village and hamlet community. Whatever that means. The town of Babylon in Suffolk County, New York, is made up of 3 villages and 11 hamlets. West Islip. I don't know what all this means. Is it a town or a city? Became the first incorporated village in the town of Babylon, 1893. Okay. They're telling us what we can do there, things to do. I'm just trying to see what kind of place this is. Maybe I need to go back up here and do a little search images. Thank you, Scissors. Thank you. You know, I change it up sometimes. Give you all something to talk about. Ho's charm. Let's see what the New York Post has to say. No, I can't open it up. Wall Street Journal. Sorry, not the Post. This is from 2015, January. Is it going to let me read it? Oh, they want you to subscribe. Figures. They won't let you read anything. Everybody wants you to subscribe now since everything's on the internet. What happened? Let's look at the map and see what's around Babylon, New York. Ooh, what a mess. It's just in Suffolk County, everybody. 213,000 or so people. And you know, New York is a small state. New York is not a big state. That's why I find it funny when they call it the Big Apple. Because it's not really that big. The city itself is not that big. Okay, so it's right under New York City. What happened? What happened in that park? That's what I'm curious. What happened in this park? What's the crime rate? Babylon, New York. Village of Babylon. They have a Facebook page. Let's see what they're talking about here. So what, JR? You got me wanting to go deeper into this. What do you mean? To the story? I'm just trying to check out the town, see what they got going on. Little League, Easter Parade, Historical Society. I'm trying to figure out what's the crime. That's what I'm looking for. Usually something comes up. They have a woman mayor, Mary E. Adams. Cameras at the park? Don't know, haven't heard. But what's interesting is what I put on my community posts pertaining to this crime. Why is it every time somebody gets murdered, nobody sees anything, hears anything, for somebody to take a whole body or body parts and drop them off wherever? Because you're talking about a public park. So you were brazen enough to, one, take a life, two, to dismember the person. Now you're talking about carrying the body parts out in public and discarding them in a public park. So then you have to ask about this area, policing. Cops drive through this street often. Do they gate it up the park at night, or you just go through it any time of day and night? What are we talking about? Because this is strange. It's always strange when you're talking about, dismembering a person. And now we're talking about two people. So why this man and this woman? Are they related? How about that? The guy, woman, ages, young people, middle age, what? Eyewitness to a crime? Did they snitch? Are they addicts, drug addicts? Who are these people that got murdered? What is their affiliation with killers? I also read the fingertips were taken off of one of the victims. So that means somebody wanted to make sure they didn't get traced back to them, so the killer wouldn't be identified. Because that's usually what people do when they discard people out. It's usually a sign that it's personal, the person is known, And then when you start getting rid of fingertips and cutting up parts and separating heads, legs, and arms, it's usually you don't want them identified because you have a link to the individuals. If you ever notice that in true crime. See, random people, usually when they unalive people, they don't care where they murder them. They just shoot, bang, bang, stab them, leave them where they're at. Just like if somebody broke in your house right now, they unalived you. They have no reason to take you out of the house and discard your body in a dumpsters, in a lake, in the ocean, because if nobody knows, that the killer knows the victim, they have no reason to transport you out of the house. For what? There's no reason to take you out. Usually people only do that, discard of bodies, dismembering bodies, is because they have a personal relationship with the victim. Shirley says, what? And the ones that was unalive will be said they was a good person and didn't mess with nobody and would give the shirt off their back. Okay. Well, could be. But if this is gang related, will that be said about the people who died? Because, when you're talking about street life, it doesn't take much for the culprit, gang member, whomever, to unalive a person. They don't really need a real reason. This could be an initiation. Just, I got to get in. But then that doesn't make any sense to chop them up. You just shoot them and keep it moving. So I don't know if this is gang related or not. Because all type of people have tattoos. It's not to say that people who have tattoos are bad people or gang members, but I was listening to News Nation and it was mentioned on there it could possibly be, because obviously officials have had problems in the area with crime, murders, I guess. So maybe that's why they assume it's this gang, MS-13. I don't know. I haven't a clue. But it's interesting. Let me try to see what I can get on the crime. Hold on 1 minute. Yes, please search. Babylon has an overall crime rate of 12 per 1,000 residents, making the crime rate here near the average for all cities and towns of all sizes in America. According to our analysts, the FBI crime data, your chance of becoming a victim of crime in Babylon is 1 in 86. So we're talking about 200,000 people, 213, 215,000 people. Your chances of being hurt or harmed are 1 in 86. Is North Babylon a good area? Let's see what they have to say. Nice family-friendly neighborhood. Schools need to improve. Overall, I've liked living here for the past couple of years. Born and raised in North Babylon and raising my family and child at home has given me such a delight. Okay. One person's opinion. West Babylon. Sparse suburban feel. Most residents own their homes. Many young professionals live in West Babylon, and residents tend to be liberal. The public schools in West Babylon are above average. Okay. What's the crime rate in North Babylon? Okay. 14 crimes per 1,000 residents. It is not among the communities with the very highest crime rate. So where is this area where this park was? I'm curious. I don't know. Is Babylon, New York a rich area? Let's see. Median family income, 131,000, 134. 4% of this hamlet's family live below the poverty line. Interesting. Well, interesting. Live below the poverty line. Well, that's not good. So the median, that's mid, 131,000. Well, that's a good salary, 131,000. Is Babylon a good place to live? Babylon, New York. 217,830 people. Babylon is in Suffolk County and is one of the best places to live in New York. It's highlighted in blue. Living in Babylon offers residents a sparse suburban feel, and most residents own their home, as I said before. In Babylon, there are a lot of restaurants, coffee shops, and parks. Wow. Somebody here to ask me, is it a wicked city? Okay. Christian scriptures portray Babylon as a wicked city. Hebrew scriptures tell the story of Babylonian exile, portraying, this Bible talk here, the Tower of Babel. I was just wondering what they got all kind of questions. Safest place to live, upstate New York. Stillwater, Cairo, Whitestown, Mount Hope, Town of Highlands, and Elmira. All right. Who has the lowest crime rate in New York? Sleepy Hollow, 2.0. Rye, 2.6. Bedford, 3.8. And Carmel, 4.1. Well, wealthiest cities. Babylon. I don't know if they're talking about the Bible or now. What is the diversity of Babylon, New York? In 2021, there were 18.6 times more white, non-Hispanic residents, 10.7 thousand people in Babylon than any other race or ethnicity. There were 576 white, 263 non-Hispanic residents, the second and third most common ethnic groups. So it's predominantly white. Well, all right. Get a notification, hello. Well, hippie, unsubscribe and resubscribe. How violent is Babylon? It's not saying. I don't see. Well, it didn't really answer that question. $2.79 miles. Basically, they're saying it's a good place to live. One of the best places to live. Babylon, New York. So why do we have dead people, body parts, in the park? Number of crimes, 47, total 675. So 47 violent out of a total of 675. Crime rate per 1,000 residents, 1.09 out of 15.62. What's the 411 pertaining to these body parts? Because this is not good. Safest place to live in New York, great place to live. Median salary, $131,000. But yet, somebody's decided to unalive a man and a woman and dump their body parts in a park. That don't sound good at all. Who's the culprit? What happened? Falling out, disagreement, gang-related, what? Initiation, what? Where are the people from? Who are the people? The man and the woman, are they related? Excuse me, are they related? They know each other? What? Just curious. Sorry, my lights keep blinking on and off. Let's see what NBC has to say. Somebody knows something, you can believe that. Like I said, imagine being a child on your way to school and finding an arm, leg. Oh, you won't forget about that, that's for sure. Won't ever forget about that. 8:40 a.m. in the morning, young girls walking to school found a severed left arm at the eastern end of Southwark's Park Pond, which is off of Siegel Boulevard, Suffolk County Police said in a news release. Father was called, and then he called 911. Cadaver dog came out. Dog came out, and then he found another arm 20 feet from the left arm. The students were kept inside for recess while police investigated the crime scene. The superintendent of Babylon Unified School District said in a letter to parents, according to NBC New York, mental health resources were also available to the students at all grade levels who needed support. Police said the remains found on the east end of the park, both arms appear to be male. The limbs appear to have been discarded recently. Police said, according to NBC New York, they hope to identify the body parts using DNA and by examining the tattoos. Police did not rule out the possibility that the incident could be gang-related. The station reported. Police also declined to say whether all of the body parts are believed to be from the same person or how that person might have died. The search has been suspended until daylight, police said. So we have a little more information. Man and a woman. Man has tattoos only. Recently discarded. That's good to know. Are the people who were unalive, do they have criminal records? Because now you got to ask, are all hands attached? Because I think I read somewhere where fingerprints were not accessible. No tips on the fingers, if I'm not mistaken. I'll stand corrected if that's not true. So were fingers attached on the arms? See, that's a lot of work. Cutting up the body is one thing. Removing fingertips, meaning you got to cut the tips off. This is vile. This sounds personal. What do you say? You know. Excuse me. Sorry. The victims know, the perpetrator, vice versa. Somebody knows somebody, because it's just too much work for random initiation. Hey, go out here and shoot some people, come back, let me know that you shot them, blah, blah, blah. I mean, how, come on. Doesn't take much to unalive a person these days. Just get a gun, shoot, and keep on moving. So when you start talking about cutting up body parts, it's just personal. It's very personal. Hello, buddy. It's just too personal to be cutting up people. Come on. It's just not something you would normally do in unaliving of a human being. And as I said, most people who are discarded is usually because the victim knows the perpetrator. The perpetrator don't want that person found. And so you don't come investigating me. So now you're talking about dismembering, maybe cutting up tips, arms, legs, whatever. It sounds personal. Maybe it ain't gang related. Maybe something else going on. Maybe somebody witnessed a crime. Two people saw something, tried to get away, couldn't get away. I don't know. Yeah, could be. Altercation, guy and girl were together, man, woman. Something jumped off at the man. The lady was there, had to get rid of her. She was there. I don't know. Or it could be the beef was with the woman. The guy was there. I don't know. Don't want to be discriminatory, but this ain't good. I can tell you that. This ain't good at all. Nice area. And I'm sitting here thinking about the child discovering this is, I can't even imagine what the child is going through. Severed left arm, the young girl. She called her father. And he went to the park, and then he called 911. And then a leg was found in a pile of leaves on the western side of the park. So this person was just walking around dumping body parts. Come on now, let's put this together. What time of day was this? Night, morning, noon? What'd you carry it in? A duffel bag? CMC bag? Hell. Maybe he knows, maybe they know Adam Montgomery. Just saying. This is crazy to me. Just walking around, carrying body parts, just dumping them. Going around the park. Well, I'm going to go over here, dump an arm, go a few feet, dump the leg. Well, let me go over here, dump two arms, whatever. Then I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go around the park, dump some more parts. Why would you put them together? Help me understand. Wouldn't it make sense to put one leg of a victim one place, take another leg and put it in a dumpster somewhere else, take the woman's arm, put it in one place, then take her other arm, leg, put it somewhere else? Are you following me? Why are you dumping two people you have unalive and putting their body parts in the same damn place? This is ridiculous. Now I'm wondering, what was the motive? How did they actually become unalive? Gunshot, strangulation, suffocation? What? Was it an overdose? This is gang initiation? What are we talking about? Wow, 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 wow. Who are the two victims? Do they know each other? Was this a gang initiation? The unaliving of two humans, dismembering the two humans. Were they dismembered at the same time? Were they murdered at the same time? They were recently discarded. What timeline are we going to hear of the limbs? A day, 2, 3, what? 2 hours, an hour? What time of day? How many culprits? Who holds the secret to this crime? This is bad, honey. Oh, Lord. You think you can't be more amazed by stories. And then you hear something crazy. You hear something really wicked. Let me go up here and see what they've got. It's very crazy. It's absolutely bizarre. See, News Nation is saying byproduct of border policy. Well, you got to know for sure that this is a migrant that has committed the crime. We don't know that. We don't know that this is a migrant or migrants that committed this crime. We have no idea who did it. Even if you do have some MS-13 homicides, attempted murders, or whatever, you still got to prove it's gang related, and that you also that they were migrants that committed the crime. So I wouldn't go that far to say that until there's some proof. I don't know if I'm gonna hit play this because my volume is so low on this computer you can't ever hear. Hey, Brooke. Scary is what this is. Volume's too low on here. I don't know why the volume is so low. Can't ever play any content off this computer because its volume is so low for some weird reason. Police say human body parts were found in a popular park in Babylon, and some of the remains were found by children on their way to school. Popular park in Babylon. With concerned parents of his life tonight at the scene of job. Good evening. Found by children on their way to school. So you're just walking along saying, well, I'm going to unalive some people, cut them up, and now I'm going to take them to this park and dispose of them. You must want them found because you took them to a park. People go to the park, walk their dog, exercise. Then I'm looking at these pillars outside near the street with flowers and angels. Looks like a pretty decent neighborhood. Doesn't look bad from what the pictures are showing. So basketball goal right outside near the curb. Very scary. Decent looking houses. You know, simple houses. Yes, some simple looking houses. This is just strange to me. I wonder, does it dead end? Because it looks like it dead ends. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. How do you explain that to a child? Mommy, Daddy, why would they do that? I don't know. Things you can't even explain to a child. You can't explain these type of things to children. Why somebody would, one, unalive a person, then two, dismember their body, and then throw their body parts in a public park. It's just ridiculous. It's nothing you want to explain to a child. I mean, I'm an adult, and I don't understand what the hell's going on. Is this gang related, everybody? Is this gang related? And let's hope and pray there won't be any more body parts popping up. Because if you're bold enough to dismember 2 people, what else have you been doing? Okay? Or as someone said in the comment section I read from a video, is this could it be a serial killer? That didn't occur to anybody? That didn't occur to anybody? That this could be a serial killer? Doesn't necessarily have to be gang related. Just saying. What if it's a matter of somebody overdose? People got to have them throwing people out when they overdose. They don't want to be linked to the overdose because we have more strict laws now of being in the company of a person that overdoses. You can be charged with murder. So now, the next question. Where are the torsos? Where are the hands? Where are the feet? And where's the other person's head? Oh, Lord have mercy. Just saying. Can't get this volume up. Because now we got to wait to see if the other part's going to pop up. How about that? Yeah. Where are the other parts? This is crazy to me. Where are the torsos? Say arm and leg belong to the same person. Hold on. The arm and the leg and the head came from the same person. School right across the street. Male and a female found feet from the elementary school. These body parts. So we're looking at a school. This is not good. This is not good. So you're bold enough to go near a school and discard the body parts. There's the school. I don't know what to say. Bad things happen in nice places. Yes, sir, you are definitely right about that. Bad things happen everywhere. So very true. 30 comments. Let's see what the people are saying in the streets. MS-13 immigrated here for a better life. Oh, Lord. Whomever did this does not think they will get caught or don't care they will get caught. It is most certainly not their first time. I wonder what place on earth allows you to get the practice in, undisturbed, or to be so brazen. Yeah, you're right. So now let's ask that question. Have they committed other crimes? You've already dismembered 2, so we're going to assume you unalive 2. So has this person or persons unalive other people? Is this gang-related, serial killer, overdose? 2 people were eyewitness to a crime. 1 person witnessed something. The other one was in tow. Innocent bystander. What are we talking about here? This is some cartel, S-H-I-T, Ozark, question mark. Somebody says, this is how the Latin gangs operate. It's here. Somebody says, my first time in Babylon was August 1986, and it was not pleasant. Never again. I wonder why. That's interesting. That's a long time ago. Almost 40 years ago. Somebody says, I'm sorry, I live in Deer Park, but want off this island. Wow, interesting. Only a car was involved. I don't know what that means. Then somebody says the Zodiac killer could be responsible. Laugh out loud. No, this is not funny. It's not funny at all because I don't know what these people did to deserve being unalive, then dismembered, thrown out, but this ain't good. This ain't good at all. Just saying. So let's chop it up and I'll get out of here. Thank you for joining me. The head, the arms, and the leg belong to a man. A woman's body parts have also been identified. The man had tattoos on his body. Is this gang related? Is this MS-13? Is this Bloods? Is this some type of cartel? Who are the people who committed the crime? Are we talking about 1 person or 2 people? How did they get the body parts there? By foot, by car, by van, what? Do they know the victims? Is it something personal? Vendetta, eyewitness to a crime. They had to knock off the people. Persons involved. They thought they told something. Somebody else saw something. Both people saw something. What's the deal? Culprit, victims. Who are the victims? The race. Oops, haven't heard that. Tell the questions you can ask. What are the races of the man and the woman? Did they date, married, friends, cousins, brothers, sisters, what? Now we got to ask, who's missing? Bingo card. Come on with it, Queen. Who's missing from Babylon, New York, or one of the other villages? Hello, Little Dove. Thank you. Love the username, Little Dove. That's cute. Bingo card. Now, I'm looking at this. Let me go back and look at this part of this video right here. Hold on, because this is just bothering me now. So you always got to look at stuff. Hold on. Because I'm trying to see if this dead ends on the street where the park is. Because that means somebody could have had a doorbell camera. Hold on. I don't see the road going out from where the police cars got the street blocked. I can't tell if that street goes around past that blue house, gray house or not. If not, that dead ends. That's not good. So I need to see a whole area view of where this police car SUV sits, because I see other SUVs, 1, 2, parked, and I can't tell if it dead ends or not. You understand what I'm saying? So that means a person would be going in that area and coming back out. How? By foot, by car. This is, so you have to weigh all those things. That's how you get to the bottom of it. Because there are 2 houses sitting here. And in this day and time, most people, especially in places that have crime or bigger cities, small towns from bigger cities, they're going to have doorbell cameras. Most people have doorbell cameras now. So, excuse me. Do these houses right here have doorbell cameras? See, there's a lot of questions you can ask. Time of day, discarded. By foot, by car, what? Doorbell cameras on the houses, what will they reveal? They're showing us an area view now. See, I don't see a road going past those houses. It dead ends, it looks like. Because the area view shows the road, and then you don't see the road anymore. You just see trees, and then like a paved walking trail from the street. So it's kind of like the street, then grass, trees, little ways in, then a walking path that's concrete. So it looks like it dead ends. So this is even creepier. Now imagine your house is on this street where the suspect or suspects have walked kindly by, or they came in the park another way and dropped these body parts off. This is scary as hell. And as this man said that was interviewed, bad things happen in nice places. Crime happens everywhere, and that is so true. What are the races of the man and the woman? Do the man and woman know each other? Are these separate, isolated cases? Separate, isolated crimes? The man and the woman don't even know each other, but they've been unalived and dismembered and discarded in this park. We also hear different sides of the park. So this person is just having a good old time, carrying dead people around and hacked them up and just storing them over here to the west side, and we'll go over here to the eastern side of the park and just, discard the people up. So, we got to find out who these people are. They're racist. Are they white, Caucasian? What are they? Asian? What are they? Black? What are they? Are they from Babylon? Outside of the district, area, town? Ages? They hadn't been there that long. That's a very good clue there. They hadn't been there that long. But what's going to be the clincher are is somebody's going to come forward to say their brother's missing, their dad is missing, their son is missing. I've been calling. He won't answer. He won't respond. He stays on social media. She stays on social media. And that's the good part of the story. If the people were known to frequent Facebook, IG, you understand what I'm saying? They post a lot. They posted what they're doing, what they got going on. Because this will be very helpful in determining who these people are. Because if somebody now goes into the book of life and say, hey, Bobby's not answering his phone. He's not posting like he was. Susie's not posting. Oh, I hear somebody's been unalive. Let's go to the police department. Let's go to the morgue and see if we can give them some identifying information of our family members, friends, and then compare that information to law officials, what they have on the decedents. I think it's probably going to come about shortly, the results of who these people are and if they are actually related to one another or they're separate people. What's going to be scarier, if the guy and the woman are not related. Him don't know her, her don't know him. Just saying. Male has tattoos. Oh boy. And why that park? Why did you cohorts discard those parks there? Why there? Why not in water? Because one could say, if it's ritualistic, you are setting a tone, a message to the universe. Yeah, I unalived them and cut them up. This is what can happen to you. You cross me, my associates. Or it's personal. I was trying to hide it. But then that doesn't make any sense because it's a park and people walk through parks. So that wouldn't lead me to believe the person was trying to have the body parts hidden, the identity rather, because a park is public. So you should know at some point you threw one arm leg over here and then 20 feet away there was another one. That sounds like you didn't care. So that kind of sounds like a message was sent to the universe. That this is what happens to you when you cross me. That's what it kind of sounds like. Yeah. Now, will we find out that these body parts belong to people who don't even live in New York? Maybe they live in New Jersey, Boston. I don't know. Are they local, the victims? Because this could be somebody who decided to just find this part, people Google, and just drop them off right there. I don't know. We won't know more to speculate on until there's an identification of the people, learn how they were living, what they were into, the paths they crossed with other people, who would have a motive to unalive this man and woman, the ages of the man and woman, the race of the man and woman, and dear God, what did you do so bad that these people felt they had to do this? And I'm not here to blame, victim blame by no means. But, you have to say to yourself, my goodness gracious, to be unalive, don't even know how they did that. And then they were mutilated. So what was the point? Why not just throw them out? You've unalived them, just dump them somewhere. You already dumped them in a public park. Why you just didn't take the whole body and dump it? And then you got to ask yourself this. Where were they unalived and where were they dismembered? Garage? Shed? Because you got to have a place to do that. That's intimate. Sick as that sounds, but it is an intimate act, dismembering a person. So where did they do this at? Did they have help? Was there eyewitness to the actual murders? Is this the same person? The one would probably think yes, but what are the odds you're going to find a guy and a girl's limbs thrown out in the same park? And have they done this before? That's my commentary. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. Hit that bell when you come in this playhouse. Go to my community page to take the said polls pertaining to P. Diddy and the latest debacle of allegations against him, Wendy Williams. Those have been my latest stories in the YouTube queue. Please check out those videos. Share it, make it go viral. Tomorrow's conversation is supposed to be about Roe versus Wade and the abortion pill. The morning after pill is now being sold in CVS and Walgreens. I brought you an update about that this weekend. So I'd like to talk more about abortion rights and should Roe versus Wade have been overturned. Now we have a pill that you can purchase in states where abortions are legal. So we will see how you all feel and think about the subject matter. I will put up another poll pertaining to abortion rights because I put up one, I think, a year or so ago, or two years or so ago. We will go back into the belly of the beast, and I will put up another poll pertaining to the after morning pill and abortion rights after I do this live stream. May put up some questions pertaining to these two victims. Who are they? Is this gang related? Initiation? Somebody was in a hurry, they had to get rid of somebody. But before I go, let me throw this at you. What if it was an altercation? Somebody witnessed something, and they had to get rid of two people, okay? And what if they live right there in that neighborhood? Quiet, not so quiet. Nice, not so nice people in Babylon. What if we're talking about some shit jumped off in somebody's house, apartment? The park was the nearest, and they unalived the people, took out two, and walked them to that park or drove and dumped those body parts, but they live right there in the general demographic of that damn park. How about that? Because we don't know who the victims are. We don't know who the culprit is, or if there are more. We don't know the races. We have no idea. So until you identify the people, you can get a better understanding of the culprit. So if you remove serial killer, remove MS-13 or any gang affiliation, just imagine something just jumped off in somebody's house or apartment right there in that demographic, and this was the best they could come up with. Imagine they didn't even drive. You think about little Harmony Montgomery, all the little places that baby went. Inside of a bag, a duffel bag, then a CMC bag. Stay woke now. Traveling around in different homes and ceilings, freezers at a job, back to an apartment, then into a U-Haul truck, discarded somewhere out here in La La Land. What if this person lives right there in that damn neighborhood, and that was the best they could do because they couldn't carry the body out, because they couldn't drive? See, I think of everything. What if the can't carry a body out, don't have a way to do it? So they dismembered the person, carried him out piece by piece, then went back, took the next person out, dismembered piece by piece, discarded them in the park, and then went on their merry way. Did that ever occur to anybody? Could be a person that don't even have a car. They walked the body parts to the park. Just saying. Because we've seen this with that baby, Harmony Montgomery. At one point, these people did not have a car. And they went from place to place carrying around a little girl, her remains. And that's the most unbelievable story to date, besides the case pertaining to Jeffrey Dahmer, okay? When you're talking about dismembering body parts and leaving them around. And also John Wayne Gacy, he hid body parts in the crawl space of his house. And eventually he ran out of room. House was stinking and smelling up the neighborhood. He had to get those bodies out, the next victims, and he discarded them in water. So it gives you pause. So many questions you can ask, yes. Because sometimes we allow people to throw out things and then we run with it without thinking. You really don't know anything until the remains have been identified. Then you can start putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Personal, not personal, gang related. But what will be freaky? This person lives right there in the neighborhood. Somebody trusted, somebody well known in the community, somebody liked, don't have a criminal record, ain't in no gang, ain't in no cartel. Stay woke. Haven't been in any mischief. No police record. Just saying. Ascertain all possibilities. Because that will be even more devastating. This isn't no drug hit. This is no cartel hit. This is no initiation. Because initiation, I don't see them dismembering the body parts. That wouldn't make any sense. That's just too much work for initiation into a gang. This may be drug overdose, personal. Somebody saw something times 2. So now we have to ask, will we see more parts pop up belonging to somebody else? Victim number 3. Just saying. Thank you for joining me. Once again, like, share, subscribe. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $Big Angie 129 cap. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. Thank you, ladies, for joining me. And I will be back with more commentary on this subject when there's an update. Please check out my content on P. Diddy and Wendy Williams. I'm going back to back, bringing you said updates. Next time, we're going to talk about the judge. There's information that the judge took a bribe. We're going to dig into that later this week. And we're going to talk about abortion rights this week. Check out my live from earlier pertaining to the industry of TV and music. Are they enabling sadists, musicians, entertainers? Are they building sadists? Are they helping these people become monsters? Yes, hippie, I gotta go, honey. 1 hour and 13 minutes in, I gotta try to keep them short. But check out that live from earlier this afternoon. Is the music TV industry building predators? I give you a list of men who have had allegations against them. It's pretty long. And those are people who I didn't even originally mention in the 30 who had allegations against them in 2023. So you're going to probably be shocked at some of the names that you hear me mention. A lot of highfalutin entertainers, sports figures, actors, comedians, so on and so forth. There have been a lot. And there's also women mentioned. They even had Britney Spears' name mentioned in the lineup, which I found that bizarre. I hadn't heard of her, having any type of sexual assault against another human being, but her name was mentioned. So we will chop it up. you have a topic of interest, just put it on my community page. Something you think I should talk about. I'm trying to veer away from the graphic of children crimes. I like to talk about various types of crimes pertaining to adults and things that, go bump in the night. So I'd like to talk about things besides, children crimes. So I'm bringing you the best of Queen, a diversity of subject matters and things that pertain to us as citizens here, okay? So thank you all so much. God bless all of you. We will be back here again tomorrow. And I think I'm going to do Roe versus Wade tomorrow. We'll get that subject out of the way. And then the rest of the week, you just give me your suggestions of some crimes or storylines. There's something I want to talk about tomorrow. I might put the abortion subject on hold, or I'll do 2 lives tomorrow. There's a weird, crazy, whack story I found tonight that I'm going to bring to you. And all I'm going to say is you're going to really enjoy the content, because you're going to say to yourself, damn, I knew people were crazy, but this is crazy. It's pertaining to dating and marriage and people who don't like the person you have chosen, the lengths they will go to break you up. I'm going to try to bring that to you tomorrow, okay? It's going to be a very interesting storyline, and we will see if there's more drama pertaining to that story later down the road, because when I was reading the comments under the article, some people were saying, oh, this ain't going to end. There's going to be some more shenanigans attached to this story, and I kind of agree, and it's really not funny, because when you hear the information I'm going to bring you, that's going to possibly be the first thing you hear. You're going to think, this is probably not going to end well for these people. Somebody's probably going to do something really, really bad later on. And when I bring you that information, you're also going to say to yourself, if you're capable of this, what I'm going to tell you, what else are you capable of? See, that's what you always have to remember about true crime. When you hear crazy stuff people do to hold on to a person, acts of revenge, what else are you capable of? Just saying. Thank you for joining me. You've been listening to the Vault XL.